Hi everybody, I'm Steve McDonald, and this is your Investors Daily Edge weekend wrap-up. In focus today, a look at market perspective, Exxon, Greece again, and the return of stupid business spending, and of course, the slap in the face award. First, Greece. Would somebody make this go away? I am so sick of hearing that the EU is going to back them, then they're not going to back them, then they're going to back them. You get the picture. I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of this. I said about 3 weeks ago, the bailout's a done deal. Will you please get over all the jerking around? It's annoying. Let's move on. The oil and the stock markets have been driven crazy over this, okay? It's done. Greece is taken care of. Let's wait for Portugal and Spain to default. Exxon missed their earnings by a lot this week. They missed them because they had to deduct the new cost incurred by the health care plan that Mr. Obama passed. That was the whole problem. That was the only problem. Otherwise, Exxon is doing just fine and the stock will be, in fact, it was up after that news, so don't even worry about it. Other earnings continue to be great and there's very few misses out there. Everything is just coming in beautifully. Also, Norfolk Southern, I mentioned this one of the stocks I mentioned in the past few weeks. It reported really good earnings on Thursday. I hope you're able to get a few shares. This is going to be a good hold. Stupid business spending. Overpriced hotel rooms are back in vogue. Starwood Hotels reported earnings, and they point to the return of the business traveler in stupid, expensive hotel rooms. Luxury is back, is what their CEO said Thursday morning on Squawk Box. They reported 13 cents versus an estimated 2 cents for earnings, and they see people in business feeling a lot better about things. Well, I think paying $300 and $400 a night for a bed is nuts. And remember, that's the starting price in these hotels, Starwood Hotels. They go up from there. But it is a sign that things are improving when business people will spend that much money. Market perspective. I thought it was time to take a little breather from all the noise of the market and all the ideas have been thrown out there for the past few weeks and take a good look at what's really happening in the markets right now because it's getting pretty confusing. It may look all positive, but I promise you it's not. First, most investors are not back in the market. Most are sitting on huge amounts of cash and are afraid to get back in, and for most people, they have good reasons to be afraid. The losses most people have taken in stocks, both traders and the IRAs and 401k people alike, have pushed retirement and many other plans way back, if ever. Most folks don't even want to think about it. Large investors are skittish too. You just have to look at the swings we've seen in the markets. It jumps up and down on any news, whether it's significant or not. Nobody's paying any attention, they're just reacting. That's a sign of uncertainty and it's hard to work with. Despite the run-up in the markets and the exuberance in the media, we are in a fragile situation. The fiscal issues of the developed world, the U.S. included, have put a very dark cloud just above our heads, and many people have doubts that this government or any of the European governments will do what is necessary to fix the problems of overspending and the debt and deficit that have resulted. But there are reasons to be positive too. The stimulus package, despite all its long-term problems of adding to the debt, has kicked in and we're seeing the results in earnings this quarter. This is going to continue for a couple of quarters, people. Remember, they pumped in almost $800 billion and it's still coming in. Interest rates are very low. It's another positive sign and look to be staying there through this year. Business activity is improving and most economic signs, for the time being, are good. There is some good news out there and we have been making money in our Sound Profits and IDE ideas. In fact, in my Sound Profits portfolio, I've never had a loss. That's how well we've done. But, and this is a big but, we have a real unemployment problem and it isn't improving. And with it, the consumer, while showing a little sign of life, still hasn't returned in numbers. The jobs numbers this week were not good. 448,000, down 11,000. As I've said before on this program, below 400,000 is what we're looking for. That's a healthy number. It doesn't look to be improving yet, but it is a lagging indicator, so it won't look better until after the real shift in business has occurred. On Thursday, I was part of a conference call with all the editors and analysts of IDE, and we described the mood of investors now as, and this is a quote, "Just don't make me any poorer." That's really how we see this right now and how people are feeling. Most people don't have the appetite for risk, but they also have to, not need, but have to make something on their money more than the 0.5% they're getting in the banks. Just don't make me any poorer is what people are basically saying. Next week in IDE and on this program, we'll feature alternative ideas to the risk of the stock market and ways to make more money than money markets and saving accounts are paying you right now. Because we know the vast majority of money right now is sitting in those things making virtually nothing. The idea is to get the bulk of our money doing something besides spinning its wheels. I think you're going to like this. Finally, the Slap in the Face Award. Now, based on the feedback I've been getting about this, I think this is all I should do and just ignore the rest of the programs. You guys seem to really like this. Okay, this week, it goes to Senator Jeffrey Levin. He's the chairman of the committee that ran the so-called investigation into the activities at Goldman Sachs. Well, if that was an investigation, I'm going to win the Powerball tomorrow, and my ex-wife will admit she was wrong. So you know how much I respect that committee. This show, and that's what it was, folks, this was the closest I have ever seen to what was called the People's Court in Nazi Germany. Now, you might remember the newsreels. They tried the conspirators who attempted to kill Hitler in late 1944. That was von Stauffenberg and his team. Go back and watch those newsreels. You can find them online. You'll see the exact behavior from Levin and the other members on that committee. The same accusations, verbal abuse, completely ignoring the facts, and just 10 hours of accusing these people of wrongdoings. It was a disgrace. This congressional investigation crossed so many lines into insanity, I am truly frightened by it. This proceeding was conducted as if these people who have only been charged with a civil offense, not a criminal offense, civil. And charge is a key word here. They were brought in there, assumed guilty, and they were only there to be berated and verbally assaulted until they admitted their guilt, which they didn't, and I don't think they really are guilty of much. It's an absolute outrage, even for Congress. I'm out of words to describe my disgust with Washington and especially Congress. A bunch of political hacks who regularly ignore the laws of this land and the rights of its citizens to get whatever they want. Anyway, make sure you read the IDE articles next week and watch the videos. It'll have a lot of good information. You can use it to make money safely. For everybody behind the scenes, I'm Steve McDonald. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Wednesday.